Oh, Denny is. I just unmuted everybody so you can, and Denny just. Hi, Denny.
Hi, Denny.
Good, and you?
I'm suffering in the 60-degree heat down here.
Oh, geez.
Oh, no. Suffering. It was 30 degrees here today.
Right.
It actually did get down to 35.
Arizona, I think.
Ooh.
Are you in Arizona?
I'm down in Tempe, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Spending part of my time at the Tempe Public Library. That's where I get my stuff printed out.
Ah.
I got a nice library down here.
I
That's
talked to
cool.
my son yesterday. He said it was only 52 degrees in Phoenix yesterday.
I didn't even know that's where he lived.
Yep.
Okay, should we
It's
call the
fine.
meeting to order? All right, so we'll call the meeting to order. I'm subbing for Denny, who's zooming in remotely. So hi, Denny, welcome. Emma's on her way. She got held up in a train.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Let's see. So approval of the agenda. Do we see any modifications or any edits to the agenda?
I have no additions to the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Perfect. All right. Approval of the minutes.
Oh, we have to vote.
Oh, we have to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Approval of minutes.
I have the minutes on the screen, and did anybody notice any
Didn't see anything.
changes that needed to be made?
Nope. Looked like we're just spending a lot of our money.
Move to approve minutes.
A second.
Second.
Vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. All right. Director's report.
Okay, I'll just, I guess, highlight a few things. We did receive that donation. The family that donated the last couple of years didn't get a donation in this year, even though they were in the library in December and told me they were planning on it, but this came from the Haas family in memory of Larry, who died right before Christmas. The fire alarm the fire alarm system, I told you, I emailed you a few days after the tech was in the building that hopefully the reboot, the resetting of it worked, but it did not. Then it started alarming again, so we were moving forward with getting quotes and getting quotes from electricians to do some work, although now the last week it's been working with no alarm, so we'll see. The other addition that I need to just verbally tell you about regarding the building is Friday about 6 o'clock, I got a call from the staff. They were just closing up, informing me that this roof, the ceiling was leaking. So I stopped eating with my family from Minnesota who were home for the weekend and came in and sure enough, yeah, we had. And so and Denny came in as well, and then we went upstairs on top of the roof, and he pulled the snow shovel up there too, and we shoveled in that area, to get down to the membrane, the roof membrane. Didn't see any problems. It was dark. We were using a flashlight. So at department head meeting yesterday, I talked about it. I talked to Joe Schrader, Public Works, and they sent someone over today, and then he and Denny went up there this afternoon and found a little hole in the membrane. And so Public Works has gotten a hold of the company out of Sioux Falls that they recommend to do the repair, and they'll be here tomorrow to small little hole. But we had to replace, the ceiling tile were all sagging and wet, and
Yeah.
so could have been worse. We ended up throwing about 3 books away that got wet and beyond freeze drying and that type of thing. But we could have easily weeded them anyway.
Huh.
So I'll just add to, I think Zach North is on his way over, and I think he's going to bring some Bookopoly game boards, but I'll just add to the reports that so far for adults, we've handed out about 90 game boards and 50 for teens, which that's, I think, really good since we didn't do teens last year. Last year, compared to last year, we handed out about 85 adult game boards. So,
And how long do you keep handing them out? We'll keep wanting them?
yep. I mean, because it's going to go through pretty much the end of March. So if they want to even start March 1st, they can.
Cool.
In my report, that library telescope program was something new. So any questions about that? That was something that kind of out of the blue, the guy from the Omaha Astronomical Society called and talked to staff, and we thought it sounded interesting. And it adds to our library of things and adds to promoting science and getting science into the hands of people. When I talked to Mike Farney, he was very excited about it. I had him kind of look over the specs of this telescope, and he thought it looked like a really good option. So we still have some things to work out, and something like that costs as much as it did. We would have people sign a form that if they damage it, they will pay for repairs or replacement. So, but we're looking forward to that. And in the report, I just did an image of that. That's kind of what it looks like. And there's some additional, like a sticker, some things that the modifications that the guy did for us when he came in. There's let me see if I can make this bigger. Like there's just a little rope that attaches to the eyepiece cover, and so that inevitably, without that, someone would take it off. Yeah, they won't find it in the dark, and so
Remember to pick it up.
yeah.
That's really cool.
I think that's great. Dr. Farney ran, at least when my kids were at LB, ran
Yeah.
looking telescope nights
Yes,
at least
part-
4 times a year.
Yeah.
Out on the playground outside the Christian Wellness Center out there. And
Right.
would sit out there and point at something, and then 55 little kids would line up and go look, and he'd tell them what it was, and they'd all go great, and then he'd point it at something else, and they'd all line up again, and while he was getting it ready, they'd all run around and play, and then run back over there. But anything like that the library could sponsor. I mean, it could be sitting at the library and we do it, but downtown lighting is not the greatest. So,
or we head out of town, because I know he also did some, out of town too,
Yep.
so that there wasn't
Yep.
as much light pollution. Yep. So, and then I also inserted the photo of the acrylic slat wall shelves that we got to put into those grooves at the. And so that's what it looks like now. And I walked past a number of shelves that, since putting books out, they're empty. So I told everybody, if you walk past a shelf and you see it empty, just grab another book and put it on there. That's the idea. So.
It looks
It
really
does.
nice.
It looks really nice in there.
And Zach is here, so if he wants to add anything.
Right at the right time.
He's actually just stepped away. We just started at 4 o'clock, a teen program, but Rachel is going to run it the rest of the evening. I'll just point out from his report, the compact disc project that we got rid of, we deleted over 16,600 records, barcode records. So our holdings are our holdings are the same, but, our statistics and we have way fewer barcodes in the system. And I just think it's much more manageable.
I do actually have something to add. The Bookopoly for both adult and teens, last year for adults, we handed out 85 boards in total. This year, actually, we have handed out 100 so far.
Oh.
And 85 was over the course of 3 months, and in the matter of a month, we've handed out more than we did over 3 months last year. So that's a huge thing. I know that there are a couple book clubs in town that are actually using it to pick books off of. So that's really exciting for me to hear because I had a patron come in and tell me that on Sunday.
Well, we should have done this yesterday. We just had book club yesterday. 3 of us are in there.
Next time. We've got a couple months.
Show them what it's all about.
And then,
Or call a special book club.
Good idea. On the Bookopoly, was last year the first year?
yes,
It was, yeah.
The year before, we did bingo.
yeah, we just did bingo for adults, and that one didn't go over quite so well, but with Bookopoly, we've seen such crazy support come out of it. And surprisingly, I've gotten rid of 60 teen boards, and I have another 10 that I have holds on right now because there's a high school book club that actually wants the board to work off of too. So the support that we're getting for this year is bonkers.
And I just want to point out something Zach informed me of a few weeks ago. The chance books do where we then wrap a book up
yeah.
and then just cut out over the barcode. Tell them what a patron told you, what they figured out how to do.
So, last year when I did the chance books for adults, I had them at a physical location in the library. We had a crafty individual figure out that they can search our catalog for that physical location and see the books that are there. Then, if you go into the item record, you can get the barcode number and you can pick the one you want, go to the front desk and look for that barcode number.
Isn't that kind of defeating the
It
purpose?
defeats the purpose, but
More power to them.
more power to them.
If you make a
That's the work
rule,
you wanna go through.
if you make a rule, they'll figure out a
No,
way around it,
yeah,
right?
I mean, there's still a way around
Wish
it.
I
I'm
had
not
the
going to say how you can figure it out because I don't have them at a physical location this year, but there is still a way that you can find them on the catalog and figure out what they are.
But aren't they wrapped in black with a question mark on them? When I was
Yeah, with
in
the
there?
barcode.
Yeah.
But the barcode's there, so we can check it out.
Oh, my
So,
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
can look at the barcode, so.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one matches, that's what I want.
yeah.
Yep. And then I did put the schedule for the next 2 months for adult and teen programming
Yep.
on the front of that. So that is how far out I have planned, and Rachel has been such a big help in helping this all come together. So,
It's a lot of interesting and fun-looking things.
I know. A lot of time.
Probably in February. It's not listed on here, but in February, we're probably going to do a take and make craft for National Pokemon Day. So we're probably going to do like a Pikachu corner bookmark take and make for teens and adults. So it's not on there yet, but we're working on it right now. And then next year, I have even bigger plans for National Pokemon Day. So.
Just a question on programming, are we doing anything with Big Read?
I haven't quite yet. I usually do the South Dakota One book versus Big Read because it's it's much more local and more geared towards our audience. And I think either at some point this week, Humanities Council is announcing.
Wednesday.
Yep, that's what I figured. They're announcing the book, so I will be jumping on that as soon as I can. So.
The adult and the youth. Yep.
I think they sent out a blurb, marketing
Teaser
blurb
email
about
today.
watching it live.
Yep.
And Jean is not here. Her written report, I guess, does anybody have any questions? This Saturday is that creativity celebration that she requested funding for in December. So she has a few people who will be helping conduct
She has
that.
150 Bookopoly Junior, is that the same as your teen one, or is that a kid's one?
That is.
No, that's the children's
That's
one.
the kid one. So there's 3 versions of Bookopoly running around out there?
Yeah, last year we just did adult and children's Bookopoly Junior, but this year we also have a teen version.
Cool.
So I'm really curious what "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin" sounds like in Spanish. That's what she says we should do.
Yeah, for sure.
And Makerspace, they're going to be running through January, and then Jean's going to be taking a break from that to start planning. Summer reading takes a good amount of time to plan, but we have a number of parents who, have come to me like in November when Jean mentioned, well, I don't know how long it will run, and this one parent said, we want this to just keep going every Monday. This is great.
Maybe missing it
So-
for a couple months will
Yeah.
bring them back even harder.
So, that's been going well as well.
I will comment, my granddaughter made sure, she told me that Miss Jean came and read to her at Palace City Preschool. So she just loved it. So
Yep. She goes out to First Lutheran and Palace City, and
I have
we're back doing that. Okay.
I'm actually working with the Abbott House to potentially go and meet with their achievement group to talk books with them. Because Megan Luther actually goes over and does book club with them, and she's been kind of that connection to get that started for us. So that's something that I'm working on right now. Forgot about that.
Thank you.
Cool. Anything else, Kevin? Director's report?
That's the written, and then statistics. For the year end, traffic was up 26% in 22 over 2021. Our circulation for the year ended up being 107,631. That was up 21%. Program, we didn't hold online programs, like a daily, so like we used to. So that was down, and program attendance was then subsequently down. But when we go to the graphs, you can see in comparing attendance for 2022, which was pretty much all in person, compared to 2019, it's like more than double. And then I got just last week, I was able to get the yearly library website visits, so now that is there. It's hard to see, but we are up about 500 website visitors over the year before. And I'll go to, so you can see. I'm just going to say, I'm going to make this, I don't know if I'll say claim or that at 107,547, that is probably, very possibly, I'll say very possibly, the highest circulation we actually have had.
we're counting way more accurately now.
Yes, because those previous years, we know that, we removed 16,000 barcodes on just extra CDs in a audiobook.
Checking out the audiobook. And
Other things, other procedures that I think I may have mentioned this to you as well. Every new book that was cataloged and added before it went out onto the shelf, it was checked out to a new book patron. So if we added 2,000 books, it got about 2,000 extra.
And it wasn't really checked out.
No. So I feel 2023 or 2022 and moving forward, our numbers are our statistics will be much more accurate. Yeah. And you can see there the circulation or the traffic into the building. And I think, I printed this last week already, and so I think through today now our traffic into the building was higher than last January. I think we're over 2,300 already. And here's where programming is. So total for adults and children, over 14,000 compared to 2019, 65. And then for children's, only 12,629 compared to only 2,351. But again, some of the numbers, in 2019, if Gene went off-site, those are not included. We're not included there, so those numbers aren't completely accurate either. That's two. So that's the report in statistics usage. Any questions?
Move to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Financial report.
Okay, I have one bill to submit for approval that after last meeting, Zach asked if we could get a couple tubs of white clay for an adult program, and so bring that for $19.18.
Does that need approval? I'll move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then the financial reports, the bank statement. We are at the end of December, over 85,000 in the bank, so we're still well above the goal target of 75. I should have flipped these and had the December P&L report before the year, but for December, we didn't have as many expenses. We only had about $158, so we're on the plus side there. For the year, I'll back up now a page, with the projects that you approved last year. We had the shelving and panels and all of that, and just the operating expenses, so that was over 32,000. And for programming, that was just under 12,000, and we took in 20,500. So we were down 20. We paid for our projects from cash in the bank by 23,500. And then for the library budget from the city for the year ending, I think every department had lots left over in group insurance, and that's even with not having employees pay.
Had a 3-month premium holiday.
Yeah, we had a 3-month premium holiday, and we still have $43,000 remaining.
Because we still have too much money in our health insurance.
Yeah.
We're carrying too much money, and the state auditor even made a comment about how much we still have, and we had only collected 9 months of premiums this last year. So our health.
So it's for employees, it's a great problem.
Yeah.
We appreciate that problem.
We'll keep healthy employees.
And so we, with that, 61,000 left in salaries amounts, then we still, then we had about another 3,000 or so. So we had nearly 65,000 left, but about 4,000 left in the operating budget.
Where did we end up on utilities?
Utilities
100%.
are, well,
Yeah, $140 over.
yeah, but I think Stephanie put some extra in there at the end of the year from, this city contingency.
I
So,
think we moved yeah, a little bit, but almost every department was under budgeted on utilities. Something we need to look at.
yeah, utility, and
We
then,
tried to bump it for 2023, we'll see how it ends up.
and then the detail, so I'll just kind of plow through that. So that's the financial report.
Okay, move to approve.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to funding requests.
Okay, for funding requests, we have, as we had warned you, requests for the incentive prices for Bookopoly for adults, teens, combined from Zach, and then for children from Jean. And so we have, last year, I think we did about 500 or so for adults, and so we're adding in prices for teens too, so that's $920. For children, it's 600, and I think that was about 500 last year we spent, and with the expectation of having more people, more kids participate too, Jean wanted to bump that up. And then for children's summer reading program, Jean's total requested amount is $6,900, and that's compared to about $6,500 for last year, and that's just expecting prices to be up a little bit. So, we will have $6,000 from the county. We have the $500 from the donation that, can help pay for that too. So I don't know if you want to ask questions about anything specific. For Jean's summer reading, this is pretty much the same 4 categories that she, or same 5 categories, or 6, same categories that she used last year: programs, presentations, supplies from the Collaborative Summer Library Program, the Scholastic Literacy Partner, some books to give to kids, supplies, incentives from Oriental Trading, take and make kit supplies, and then the incentives for those who do extra reading, and then just some gifts for her volunteer helpers. Any questions?
I'll mention from history, I have no problem with the request. I applaud you and appreciate that they're coming to us in January, because that always didn't happen in the past. It was June 15th, and I need to get this, can I have the money type stuff. So the fact that it's planned out and in advance and you have an idea, great. I don't know enough to question some of your dollars and cents, but if you've researched them, I'm fine with them.
Well, and I'll just say her categories are
Categories are
yeah.
fine.
I mean, the amounts in each category are very similar. Like programs,
Yeah, and I
there's
think
maybe a
on the
few hundred, couple $100.
Last year, we spent
Yeah.
$8,400 or something on programming total, and this looks like it's going to be in that same range.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree. I'm thrilled that all of this is coming because at the end, how much would you anticipate is going to be coming in incidentally now since we've funded all of this at the get-go for the year?
Well,
I mean,
Might have
do you have
another
other-
couple $1,000s in requests of stuff that might come up.
yeah, I mean, it'll be similar to what we did last year where, you know, if Zach has an adult craft night program for May or something, that, you know, those types of
$200.
things. Yeah.
No. Right.
I just like that it's all
And,
up
I mean,
front.
Same.
there's another thing that, I mean, Zach had mentioned, that for the summertime, if we wanting to get one of those tents, you know, canopy tents that we,
Right.
yeah, if we can go out and
Sure.
do a bit more outdoor stuff. And one thing I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, during the director's report, Jean and I plan on drafting a brief application, I mean, it just has to be brief, to the State Library for a $1,500 grant program that's due, the application is due the 31st, so, yeah, so, we'll see how many. They're planning on award. Normally, this particular grant program is only for libraries and communities under 5,000, but this year they are awarding 5 grants to libraries and communities over 5,000 population. So we thought we should try it.
Do we have an average about how much we bring in every month?
Over the time of 18,000 to 20,000 per year.
Okay, so,
Yeah, I mean, let me,
so we're still 21,000 over.
I mean, here's,
Playing with our
here, right
$75,000
here,
limit, So,
right there, Diana, is the graph from since 2013. And so 2021, 2022 were,
2019 on.
so I was just looking at, we have 85,000 in the bank right now. This is 7,000, so that would leave us with 78. So we're $3,000 from our limit. Are you guys looking at doing any kind of professional development, conference attending?
that.
Anything like that?
That typically, we would, first, it would come out of the library.
Come out of the
city
library budget?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this money will take 3 or 4 months probably to spend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I was.
I mean, and the other thing
I was
is,
just
you know,
thinking that-
there are other, I mean, you've approved other projects, I mean, like the books, you know, 100 books before graduation, but, I mean, Zach hasn't ordered anything for that yet, so, and that's over many months or many years that we would be spending that money. And, you know, yeah, we probably, well, we take in, you know, 6,000 from the county, so then about 14,000 then over 12 months.
So that they can bring them back and donate them back.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do.
About that program.
Are we tracking that anywhere, like money that we've approved that, I mean, do we need to track that, or are we confident that we're going to keep bringing in this money and stay above our 75?
I mean, since I've started, I'm confident, and I mean, what you approve, I mean, we certainly track and don't spend it. I mean, when Jean, you know, when you approve a request from Jean, I mean, normally she doesn't spend all of it, or Zach,
Oh,
me
I
too, yeah.
I
But-
trust you implicitly.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, so now we're approving $7,000, and that takes us,
Like a year to date,
yes,
what the projection of where we might get to on our 75
right,
bottom.
yeah.
I mean, if
Or is it
you,
not a big deal?
if you would like,
I think as long as we know where we are today and we know what we approved, as long as that isn't below 75 and we're hoping on making $1,800 a month or whatever to keep the 75 before the money gets spent. But if we're still above the 75, I'm not real worried about the
Perfect.
timeline tracking.
I just want somebody smarter than me to help
I,
weigh in.
I can also start, you know, besides doing a month, you know, profit loss for the month, I can also do, you know, year to date or, you know, year to the end of the previous month, so that we also have that, so that would help. You could then
English
see
major,
those numbers
right?
grow.
English major, this is not my
No,
wheelhouse.
but I know what you're Yeah, and that's why I look at, okay, 6,900, 900, 600, and we spent about 8,500 total last year. We're still in the same ballpark. We dropped down by about 20,000 where we were because we did the big end panel expense and other stuff. It's like, okay, so the new level, if we take in 20 and spend 20, next
Okay.
year at this time, we should be at 85,000.
Yep. Perfect.
And I really don't, I don't,
We should be able to see that as we're going, oh, here's another big expense. Is 75 still before?
It could be limited then at that point.
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
I also don't expect that, we'll spend 20,000. I mean, because I think programming-wise, it's been about
Some-
12,000 or
there's some
so.
money in the city budget for some of
Yeah.
the stuff that like end up happening too.
Cool.
And spend the city budget.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Move to approve the funding requests? Motion to approve? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, any committee reports? Do we want to appoint a committee for the Little Free Library?
Sure. I'll be on it because I'll be
Okay.
talking to the chamber anyway.
I'll be on it.
I can continue talking to them.
Anybody else want to be on it?
I can be, I don't know what I can help with, but if you find something.
Or is it like we're all on it? I feel like we're all on that. We're all on the Little Free Library Committee.
Plaza Mini Library.
Yep. All right, board input? Citizens input? Zach? All right. Any other comments, questions for the good of the order?
I will just say, for next month, February, we will go to our training month, and for the third, this new system, I put it in the description, hoping that it would show up there like I normally have it, but it didn't print
Oh,
off.
and the new agenda system?
Yeah, the no agenda system. So for the third Tuesday in February will be the 21st, but,
It's a council meeting.
yeah, because President's Day is on the 20th. So do you want to reschedule a training or just wait until March?
I'm good waiting until March. Unless, is there something you're dying to train us on?
No.
I mean,
No.
the one thing that I've been thinking about for the next time we have a training session is to try to fulfill Diana's request about, learning more about what the state library
Oh, yeah.
has to offer. And I have not yet met the new state librarian, but, during session, he may not be able to leave Pier. So maybe in April, I could invite him to come out and talk about, all of the different
That'd be fun.
things that the state library has to offer. And
Aside from paying attention, is there anything legislative-wise that
so far,
trying to put the screws to the library system?
I will forward. Thank you for that question. I will forward to you. The South Dakota Library Association hires a lobbyist, and so we have.
Somebody watching?
Yes, and so we've received 2 updates. We just received an update. So I will forward that out to. There hasn't been anything big. He's mentioned in the 2 weekly updates that he sent out. That there's rumblings of possibly some type of censorship or book. I certainly hope not. So, but so far there hasn't been. So I'll forward that out to you all.
I will not be here on the March meeting.
So the March meeting would be still the 21st.
Yeah. So
I'm
that,
definitely not doing the February Yes or no?
March 21st?
March 21st.
So hope everyone else can make it, so we can go to farm.
So no February and March 21st, okay?
And that works for you, Denny?
Lower that.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn the meeting? Second?
Second.
We are adjourned.
At 5:41. Great. How is your day? Is your day good? Is your day good?
My day's good.